So welcome again to Purposeful Patriarchs. I'm your host, Eman. And on my last YouTube video, one of the things that I was discussing was what was wrong with black people. I was asking this question and I referenced something called the Moynihan Report. I'm from the UK, and this is something that's happened in the UK. And what I'm going to do is look through this particular document, because as I said before, black people have been studied. They've been looked at from a very detailed perspective in 1965. And what I strongly believe is that everything that's currently going on in the black community can be referenced back to most of this report, and obviously the report is quite long, but I'm going to try and detail specific points when it comes to the black family structure, why we need to fix it, how do we fix it, and essentially try and basically get ourselves out of the morass that we're in. So essentially, as I mentioned before, in 1965, they were looking at how to sort out the problem of black people because they felt essentially disenfranchised. Lyndon B. Johnson was the president in America at the time, and they were like, why do what they called them the Negro class at that time, because that's how they were classified, and they were looking at their poverty, the welfare situation, and trying to sort that out. And what Daniel Patrick Moynihan did, who's the one who actually produced the report, that's why it's called the Moynihan Report, he looked at several different factors, and we're going to go through those factors, and we're also going to sort of try and mirror some of those similarities and differences with what's going on also for black British people in the UK. Because I want to sort of try and provide some level of clarity to a lot of these discussions that you see online. So this isn't the fanciful stuff, but I will break down in more detail, because one of the plans I have is to go through the documentation, go through the statistics, go through the media clips, also look through experiences, and also take it back to what the Bible says about all of these things that are happening in society. So let's get into it. So the first thing is chapter 1, and this is essentially a summary, because in a sense it's too long, but if you do want to find other people on YouTube who have discussed this at greater detail than I will do, then you can look at people like BGS Ibmore, who's on YouTube, and also Crimson Cure if you prefer a black female take on this. And one of the reasons why I like using or referencing these people is because I'm not an American. I didn't live there. I don't understand its history. But what I strongly believe is that what happens in America also comes over to Britain, and sometimes things that happen in Britain go over to America, and that's why sometimes you see a lot of similarities between what the dominant society does in either context, and also what black people do across either context as well. Okay, so what it started off basically saying, and I will move my video to kind of explain this in more detail. In this new period of expectations, the Negro Americans will go beyond civil rights, being Americans. They will now expect that in the near future, equal opportunities for them as a group will produce roughly equal results as compared with other groups. This is not going to happen, nor will it happen for generations to come unless a new special effort is made. And Daniel Patrick Moynihan then references 2 reasons for why he believes that won't happen. And the first is that he talks about the racist virus in the American bloodstream still affects us. And it says Negroes will encounter serious personal prejudice for at least another generation. And the second is that there's 3 centuries of sometimes unimaginable mistreatment have taken a toll on the Negro people. The harsh fact is that as a group at the present time, so this is 1965, so you have have to go to over 60 years ago to look at what exactly was going on. So basically unimaginable mistreatment have taken their toll on the Negro people. The harsh fact is that as a group at the present time, in terms of ability to win out in the competitions of American life, they are not equal to most groups with which they will be competing. Individually, Negro Americans reach the highest peaks of achievement, but collectively in the spectrum of American ethnic and religious and regional groups, where some get plenty and some get none, where some send 80% of their children to college and others pull them out of school at the 8th grade, Negroes are among the weakest. So this report does talk about, let me reduce my screen a little bit so people can see, so you can see the text. Okay, all right, so maybe I'll go to studio mode so people can see that. Okay, all right, boom.